Hello everybody, today is Saturday, March 8th, and we're here with Daffy's puppies here in our puppy room. And as you can see, we've got a few enrichment obstacles placed in here for them now. Gives them a chance to explore and kind of chase each other around. It's quite the little playground type of a setup for them. And it causes them to do some problem solving. Right now, Light Blue is saying, hey, I can't get through this hole. And he's talking to us. And so he hears me talking and he knows he wants to come out and visit. Over here, over here, over here, over here, come here. He'll figure it out. So this is part of why we have this setup, is it causes them to do some problem solving and figure things out. So he's gonna figure out, he can't fit through that window opening, but he can come through the sides and get out that way. It's gonna take him a minute. So we put these enrichment obstacles in here yesterday. So it's a little bit new to them. They're still kind of figuring a few things out, but they have been having a blast with them. They've already figured out they can climb up on these shorter ones. And so it's a little bit of a stepping stone for them to figure out how to use steps, things like that. So you'll see Mr. Blue, he's gonna demonstrate for us. Perfect. Yeah, just like that, Mr. Blue. So that's dark blue, and he is a little bit more adventurous and figuring out how to get up. So by the time they go home from here, they're gonna be able to go from this lower area up on the very top side of things. They'll be big enough to make that big step. So right now I've got Daffy in here with us. She is to the point where she could be weaning the pups. The pups are old enough to start the weaning process. Miss Daffy has been such a good mama that she has just been completely tolerant of the pups this whole time and has not initiated weaning on her own. So we let the pups nurse as long as possible. They get a lot of good things from mama's milk with their immune system and good calories and things like that. Oh, here comes Light Blue. There he is. He figured it out. Good boy. Light Blue came out the side door. So, so the pups are doing really good. So I'm actually going to, I've got double camera mode going today. I'm going to set this camera up on one of these obstacles here and leave the other camera stationary. And I have a stool. I'm gonna back myself kind of into a corner over here so the pups can't get behind me. And this is kind of my puppy stool. So this is what I use when I come in and hang out with the pups, and works good to be able to sit down by the pups, not sit on the pups, and interact with them and do some socializing with them. So as you can see, every time we come in here, Miss Daffy wants to steal the show. So she loves, I'm gonna set this camera up on its little stand tripod, see if it doesn't tip over. We're gonna use that one for our puppy close-ups. So now that it's set up, I need to look, make sure everything's still pointed in the right directions. And I think they are. This one's looking good. This one's looking good. I bet Daffy's gonna bump that and knock it over. Maybe, maybe not. Oh, that's perfect. That's kind of the view I want. Let's see, about like that. Yeah, just like that. So I'm gonna let Daffy stay in here for this first part of this video. She's gonna do some demonstration for us. So you can see Daffy just loves her snuggle time with us. Loves to hang out. I'm gonna move this microphone up a little higher so it'll keep bumping it. Let's see if that works. So Daffy loves her snuggle time with us. She will cuddle with us just like this every time we come in and interact with the pups. And when we come in here and interact with the pups, we do our early neurological stimulation. So that's a process that takes a couple of weeks. We don't just do it one and done type situation. It's a scenario where I talked about it on the last video. You lay them on their back and you hold them head up, supine position, which is laying back like this, and then you hold them not just head up, but you hold them head down. And Mr. Orange is going to demonstrate that this makes him nervous, which is normal. We expect them to be nervous. So what I didn't do in the earlier video last week when I was showing you the head down position, just like I did with Mr. Orange, is we like Daffy to be in here cuddling by us when we do that. So when we put the pups head down like this, they are by Mama. They know and trust Mama. They're getting to know and trust the human. And so we let the good vibes that Daffy is putting off when she snuggles with us help rub off on the pups as they go into those uncomfortable positions. So that's why I have Daffy in here right now. She is putting off the good vibes and just kind of demonstrating how we let her help us condition the pups to interacting with us and feeling safe about interacting with us. But I cannot let Daffy come in here and steal the whole show for this entire video, because she will simply just want to do this the whole time. And generally speaking, when we're in here with the pups, we let her. We just let her hang out with us. But I'm gonna take her out to the family room. So just on the other side of the wall, right behind the camera, is our family room with our entertainment center. Kids are just out there watching TV. So Daffy's gonna go hang out with them. So pause for a second while I get Daffy out the door, and then I'll be back and we'll do more interaction with the puppies for the rest of this video. So here we go. Oh, drop the microphone. Yeah, you talking to us? Yeah, you're talking to us. Okay. All right, Daffy, here we go. Lock the door. Come on, Daffy. Hey, Cop. Hey, Cop. Good girl. Good girl. Yeah. Okay, I'm back. I let the camera roll the whole time while I was gone, so you could just watch the pups doing their thing, as pups will. And for the rest of this video, it's going to be just me and the pups hanging out. So we've been hanging out with the pups already today. So they're actually a little bit tired at the moment. So we got some of them, they're just snuggled over here. I'm going to bring them closer to us so they're not hiding from the camera, and you can watch them a little bit better, even if they are relaxed and just hanging out. So we want everybody to have their chance of camera time. I'm gonna back myself against the wall so we don't have puppies sneaking behind me off the frame of the video. And I think that's got everybody here front and center. I'm gonna use dark blue for a second because we've got their waters right over behind the camera and his head is wet. So Mama got a drink and drizzled some water as he was coming in to get a drink. So his fur is a little bit wet at this very moment in time. That's not dark spots in his coat. It's just a little bit of wet spots. So these pups are 4 weeks old today. This is kind of a big milestone week for these pups. I think you can see everybody. I'm gonna bring Mr. Orange around. He's very interested in the stool. And if I prop my leg over here, he might come back around. So we've got Mr. Dark Blue here, and they're all 4 weeks old. We're gonna begin the selection process. Today's Saturday, March 8th. We're gonna begin the selection process when the pups are 5 weeks old. So we're gonna begin that next Friday on the 14th. And we will have 2 more videos coming out next week. One will be more of a playtime video of the pups just playing. We'll get them, so right now it's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So the pups are the most active earlier in the day. So I'll see if I can get one of these videos done earlier in the day when they're more playful and vibrant actively. And then we'll do a second video that's kind of similar to this one, but more narrating our observations of their personalities. So the reason why this 4th week is a big milestone week for them is because they are old enough to start asserting themselves and establishing their own hierarchy in their little puppy crowd. Their litter mates start interacting with each other, and they start to assert themselves, and the more submissive ones become more submissive, and the more dominant ones become more dominant, and the more confident ones start to establish more confidence, and some of the more reserved ones are become sometimes more reserved. And so something that I wanted to do in today's video is, and I'm going to see if I can bring this camera in a little bit closer. Something that we do with the pups to condition them is, besides the early neurological stimulation of holding them head up, on their backs, supine, which is on their backs, and then head down, and doing the cold compress type things on their paws and things like that, and interacting with their paws, is we try to do something that's completely novel to help us read their personality. So if they've never experienced something and then they experience it for the first time, we can learn a little bit about their personalities. And then that first experience tells us, are they more apt to acclimate to a new situation quicker, or do they take a second to acclimate to that new situation? Kind of tells us a little bit about their confidence. So for today's video, I was going to take each pup, and now that I have my legs over there, I'm going to bring it over here. And this is where I thought I'm going to bring this camera in a little bit closer. So hang tight while I move this one a little bit. Oh, I knew I couldn't drop the camera. So there we go. I think I got a little dust on the lens. I think it's gonna be all right. Okay. I think what I want is that point right towards here. I think we're on it. So something that these pups have never experienced, we just brought these obstacles in yesterday, is they've never experienced being on top right here and not knowing how to get down. So Mr. Dark Blue is doing exactly what our experience has been. He's looking around, he sees no outlet, and he's just kind of in a pause mode and a little bit shivery, which is a nervous mode. So that's exactly what we expect from the pups, is to do just that. Then we put them down, let them revisit something that they're already acclimated to, which is the shavings area, and let them recover from this somewhat novel, new, but somewhat lightly stressful scenario. So light blue, he's up here, and he's talking to me for a second. He's saying, "Hey, what do you do up here?" And he's talking a little bit. He's a little bit startled. You can see his feet moving. He's saying, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa." So that's totally normal for that kind of an experience. And we want them to have these very mild, short duration type experiences. And we like all of the pups to have this same experience. And we want them all to tell us what their comfort level is. So Pink is feeling a little bit more adventurous. See how she got up? And she's got a little bit of a happy tail. She's looking around a little bit, more exploratory. And so she's got a little bit more confidence. Look at her moving a little bit earlier compared to her brothers. Mr. Blue, dark blue, was quite reserved in his activity level when he was up there. I think it's because he's a little bit tired, because I put him down here and he's still just hanging out. So he might be just a little bit more tired. That might have been part of his hesitation on moving around to see how he could get down. So this is Teal. She's up here. So she stood up. She didn't just stay down. So I kind of let her move down, and she stood up. So she's inquisitive. She's looking around, showing a little bit more confidence, not very reserved, not just hanging out there. So that's long enough for her. And we'll go to Orange. So something that we do with these pups is we want them all to basically acclimate. Some of these pups may acclimate the first time, like your experience with some of these. Some of the pups might acclimate their third time. But we feel like it's our job to do a few things with the pups, just like this, to get them all to a consistent position where they can learn, that they can acclimate to something that's uncomfortable. So Mr. Orange is demonstrating some comfort and even some confidence. He's trying to step from the platform over to me and make a move on getting down. And he's realizing that's a little bit farther than he can actually stretch to get down. So Mr. Orange showed some confidence there. So this is Mr. Red. And so we've got Mr. Red here. He's got a wet spot on his head from Mama dripping some water on his. So when he stood up, he is, oh, there we go. That's why we do some monitoring. We don't want to have an accident, huh? So he demonstrated some confidence early on, and he was kind of excited about being up here. And he's saying, this is fun. That was a playful movement. When they kind of back up quickly, that is a playful movement. You'll see that when they're on the ground and just playing. So dark blue did fall asleep. He went right to sleep down here, and he's going to sleep. So I'm gonna pick on purple. She's trying to go to sleep, and we're gonna do her next. So I'm not sure what her attitude is gonna be. She was trying to lay down and fall asleep, and I picked her right up. So a little bit apprehensive. I don't think that's uncalled for, or that's somewhat expected for her to be somewhat apprehensive, especially if I just woke her up. She's trying to get her bearings, trying to get her wits about her, and be like, what is all of this about? So that's purple's response. Next, who haven't we seen up here? Orange, we've done purple, light blue, red, dark blue, teal, and pink. I think that's everybody for that little experience. So something that we try to do is give the pups kind of a wide range of experiences and let them demonstrate to us what their personality type is like. And then we try to work with each personality. So for instance, Dark Blue, he was kind of tired, didn't want to move around hardly at all up there, was a little bit apprehensive and whatnot. And so when we come in here and work with the pups, we consistently we'll just put them back up and let them experience it again and then put them back down. So he wasn't near as apprehensive this time around. He was just asleep as well. So I woke him up for this, and he's not showing any signs of stress at the moment, but that could be partially because he's a little bit of a bedhead with falling asleep. So the pups that are still up and going, we've got purple up and going, orange still up and going, teal is up and going still, and red. Some of these others are laying down. Pink is laying down trying to take a nap. Light blue, he's actually asleep. Dark blue is using him for a pillow right there. And so we do several things to get the pups acclimated to just life in general and new experiences. We try to develop some resilience in their attitude about things, in how they handle minor stresses, and also learning trust with us as their human caretakers. We want them to experience things that they enjoy. So something that they enjoy, I'm just going to use teal here for a second. So something that they learn to enjoy is they love their little snuggle times. So when we come in and acclimate them to humans, is they figure out that this is the stuff. So something as simple as just sitting on our lap and getting some scratches between their ears and a little bit of a belly rub, they really like that. And then they learn this isn't necessarily comfortable to them, but they learn, oh, that belly rub, that's the stuff right there, and they start to appreciate that. Something that they never really quite enjoy is the head down position. That's generally something that they don't necessarily acclimate to and say, wee-haw, this is fun. But it is a position that has been studied over and over again. These early neurological stimulation development tests have been done by military people that try to establish, super smart dogs that have to do very stressful things. Think about a dog in the military. Holy cow, that dog is going to go through a lot. And so that head down position is something that they use to teach the dog, hey, you're going to go through this, but your handler, your human, is somebody that you can trust. It's not necessarily something that they'll ever get super comfortable with, but they do learn that their handler, their human, is somebody that they can trust through that scenario. Kind of like us as humans and our maker. I think this life is something that sometimes I think we all find ourselves head down in life, and our maker's got us in his hands. And he says, I know that's not comfortable for you, but that's what this life is all about. And I need you to trust me. So I think I can relate to how those pups feel sometimes. I think we all can. I think we've all found ourselves in some sort of a head down position, and we're bracing for impact. And it's uncomfortable, but we know our maker has us in his hands. And he's going to let us down as gently as he can. So these pups, we want them all to get to the point where they're comfortable in a new environment, comfortable doing something novel, and comfortable interacting with their humans. So Mr. Red's up here again. How you doing, Mr. Red? Are you gonna try to back off the back again with excitement? Not this time. You learned, huh? Good boy. Yeah. So something that we're gonna do next, this upcoming week is introduce the pups to new spaces, new environments, and have them do new things. As I mentioned earlier, we'd already been working with the pups earlier today, and I knew they were getting tired. So all 7 of them are down here for a nap now. Huh. So, gotta fix my pant leg over my boot there. So while you guys are hanging out all snugly, I'm gonna move this camera around. Hey pups, hey. Hey pups. Yeah. So we have purple, and over here we've got orange, light blue, dark blue is underneath red's leg at the moment. There's purple, pink, red's trying to sneak through the hole of the stool there for a second. And I think I'm going to wrap that up for today's video. Hope you've enjoyed watching these pups play and interact. I hope you look forward to this next week's upcoming videos to let you see them do some new novel things and how they warm up to it and acclimate. Thanks for watching. Until next time. Good job, pups. Should we let Mama back in? Want to see Mom?